Hey everybody, it's Dina Rico from the Creativity Cave, and actually, you're going to like this because I have not one but two cards to show you, but the second card I haven't made because I just got the idea as I was setting up for this, and I hope that you're going to like it. So first of all, here is my adorable cupcake card, and notice that this time I'm using the cupcake stamp set as its intended purpose, which is a cupcake and frosting, unlike my aw crap card that I made last week, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. But that video, by the way, I had more comments on than any other video I've ever done. And so thank you to all of the lovers out there. I really appreciate it. I got no hate, which was very awesome. I really did not want to offend anybody, and I was worried I was going to, but you never know. Anyway, let me share with you how I made this card because it's really easy, and I'm going to do a little bit different card for the actual card I'm making for you. So this card, and actually I got to show you this because look at that, it's so cute. And do you see the sparkle, people? Do you see the shimmer? I love it. My wink of Stella always serves me well. Okay, so let me share with you how I made this because it is actually quite easy. I have a bunch of really great tips to help you with this, and I think you're going to like my new version. So my new version is, rather than making a cupcake, I am going to make a triple dip ice cream cone. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute, but let me show you how to do the cupcake top because that is the trickiest part. Now, you might have seen a few, well, let's see. I want to say it was maybe back in June. I did a video on how to make your own stamp positioner. That was also one of my more popular videos, which is pretty cool. And I want to show you how I am using my own stamp positioner to make these cupcakes line up perfectly, because I think that's a huge thing. So first of all, I have stamped off 2 cupcake of the solid images. Okay, and here is that solid image. And here's a few tips. First of all, notice this big squiggle. That is most likely my dog hair. My sweet dog Sophie is just the most adorable, awesome thing ever, but she sheds like there is literally no tomorrow. It drives me kind of bananas. But I recommend, to help with problems like that, and P.S., well, my office is absolutely not clean. In fact, I believe she was laying on the floor in here earlier and has left with the inside pieces of the Flourishing Phrases die cuts all over her fur. Lint is just in the air everywhere. It's all over the place, and you can get it on these photopolymer stamps because they're sticky. So to combat that, what I recommend doing is, before you go to stamp it down, just give it a quick clean on your stamp cleaner. I don't often use wet wipes, only because I find that lint gets stuck on the wet wipes, and then that's kind of a bummer. Okay, so to do this, you can see I've already done 2. I'm going to do the third one so you can see the whole thing. And I inked this up. This one is in Flirty Flamingo. The first one was in Pink Pirouette. This is Peekaboo Peach. And what I've done is just get rid of the ink on the first layer, and then I'll stamp the second layer, what we call stamped off, onto my cardstock. Okay, so I have 3 distinct cupcakes, and they're a little tricky to see because they are stamped off, so they're really light. Now, what I'm going to do next is take the detail image and place that right over the top again. Right before I stamp it, I'm going to clean it off. You notice this one's not mounted on a block because what I'm going to do is line this right up. And again, because this is so dang light, it's a little bit hard to see, but I'm lining up the image so it's directly over the top. Okay, I've got magnets holding my cardstock down. Now I'm going to close my case, pick up the stamp, and then I'm going to ink it with the coordinating ink. So this is my Pink Pirouette one. So I'm inking it with full strength Pink Pirouette so that when I go ahead and stamp right over the top, you can see it's lined up absolutely perfectly. And this is, it's not impossible to do, but it's a little bit harder, especially on this crazy light color. You can see this is one I did. Let me focus this just a little. I did this one just freehanding it, and you can see I'm off here a bit, and that is a big fat bummer. So that's why I'm like, oh yeah, I have my stamp positioner for this, of course. Now, because of the fact that I am an incredibly lazy stamper, totally, I find that I don't use this probably nearly as much as I could, and that is really just because I'm so lazy. It takes a little more time to set all this up, and that's a bummer. I don't like spending extra time because then there's less card making that happens. But it also can save time because you don't have to spend time redoing things. Okay, so again, I lined this up. This time I'm doing my Peekaboo Peach, and my paper moved a touch, so I want to make sure that's okay. So I cleaned this off. I'm stamping full strength with my Peekaboo Peach ink, so it'll go right over the top. Stamp it down like so, and perfection. Yay! Again, one last time, I'll pull this off, clean it up, and then reposition it over my final image. If you recall, this one is Flirty Flamingo. Okay, so I picked it up. I will ink it up. Just verifying, yes, this is Flirty Flamingo. After a while, you kind of wonder if you've got your head on straight or not. I don't know about you guys. All right, so I stamped it on top, and voila! Perfect! Oh my gosh. So now what I'm going to do is get rid of this. I'm going to cut this out with my framelits, and I'll do that and be right back. Okay, so what I have done now is I have cut out my 3 scoops of ice cream, and I am going to put the card together. So to do that, I'm actually going to start this time with a crumb cake card base. And here I had a strip of, this is from our neutral stack DSP. This is actually silver. I am going to use crumb cake for that. So let me... Oh my goodness. Oh, here we go. I was going to say I lost my fast views. So let me adhere this. And I probably will tie the thread around here, but I might decide to do linen thread. We're going to just kind of wait till the end of the card to decide, because a girl likes to have her options, and that's okay. Now I'm going to bring in another bundle. This is the Playful Pals stamp set, and you can see it's got this cool triangular design, which I could either stamp, or in this case I just cut out using the little framelit. Because this does come with a framelit, there is a box size triangle, which is a little bigger, and then I actually am using the smaller triangle that fits in here. So you could use either one. I like this because it's just a little bit smaller. If I was using the box, obviously I just need the one triangle. I don't need the rest of this business, but it's just helpful to have all those pieces at your fingertips. Now I'm also going to take, and let me grab my scrap sheet for just a second. I know this is messy, but I'm going to take one of the little line images right here. Do you see this one? And I'm going to use that to create kind of the sugar cone look. So I'm going to go down the side like so. And then I'll turn it 90 degrees and do it the other way. Like so. And then I kind of have that sugar cone look. Isn't that handy how this stamp set does that for me? I like it. Now, because I'm adhering this to my crumb cake card, I'm going to go ahead and sponge. I'm just grabbing my sponge here so I can sponge the edge of the ice cream cone, just so that it stands off from my card base a little bit. Speaking of, let's grab that back in here and put this card together. Now in this card, you can see I stamped "You're the icing on my cupcake," but because this is not actually going to be a cupcake card, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. And I think I'm going to, let's see, let me look back at my stamp set with the sayings that are in there. I just put it down on the other end of my desk. Okay, the best things in life are sweet. You're one of the sweetest. Well, we could do that. The best things in life are, let's go with this. Actually, I guess if I'm going to use the stamp, I'm probably going to have to take it out of the case, don't you think? Seriously. Sometimes I wonder about myself. Oh, ooh, that's a dirty block. We'll get a cleaner one. Okay, so sometimes I notice with these photopolymer stamps, I can curl them a little bit unintentionally. So I find it's best to just set it on your workspace and just pick it up. That will keep it from, let me get rid of some of this, from curving in a way you don't want it to. Okay, so I'm just going to do this all the way up. And you know, actually, let me just show you one more trick. I have, oh my gosh, seriously, I just dropped that in my ink pad. Figures, doesn't it? Now, the true challenge will be whether or not I can do this without getting ink from where I dropped it someplace. Okay. This way, you can see I don't have to go all the way across. I can, but I don't have to. Because a girl likes her options. Hello, that's why we're doing this different version of this card. Now, I have to give props to my good friend Kelly. She's the one who inspired my Aw Crap card. And she actually inspired this card too. She did a card in a blog hop that we were in together last week that was super cute. And she used this in the form of an ice cream cone. Okay, so now I'm going to pop this up, and actually I have some good tips. I'll show you the same thing I did on the Cupcake version of this, except I'm looking for my scissors. Here we go. So I can use some of these dimensionals by themselves. Okay, so I'm going to pop up this, and I'm going to give it a good popping. That sounds like it could be dirty or something. I don't know. Give it a good popping right here so that it does pop up off my card. And I want it to be sturdy because I'm going to layer 3 layers of ice cream over the top. So I'm going to start with this one. And we will, of course, do a good job getting some sticky on here as well. I just wanted to make sure that would fit. So I'll start with the lightest color and then kind of work my way up. So I've got one. And doesn't it look like a cute ice cream cone? I like that. It's working out. Okay. Then for the second one, I'm going to put it right on top. And I just want to put a dimensional here because there's already some under here. Otherwise, you'll get a weird, like, angled thing going. You don't want that. So we'll set that right there. And, oh, except that's my last one. I want this one first. Sometimes it's hard to stamp. Okay. And finally there. Okay, so it says the best things in life are, and I think I need a sweet going across here, so I'm going to have to cut that in a minute. And then on the inside, of course, I can use the coordinating phrase that goes with it that says, and you're one of the sweetest, because that is perfect. Okay. And grab another block. By the way, I know many of you probably only have one block or one of each size of block. I highly recommend having a couple extra blocks. If you even just had one extra of like this is a Stampin' Up! B. One extra of this one, which is an H, and an extra, this is a G, and an A. A is the little, that little sized one. Oh my gosh, seriously, your whole world would be easier. I'm telling you, it's just true. Okay, now I could either use linen thread, but I think I want to set it off with some white baker's twine, which is what I used in my sample. So let's do that. And of course, you might be thinking to yourself, wait a minute, her cupcake sparkled. Aren't her ice cream cones going to? And don't you worry. Our next step is to put some Wink Estella on there and make them be happy scoops of ice cream because, oh my gosh, who would not be happy with these 3 scoops of ice cream? I know I would, especially given the weather we've had. Okay, so I'll tie this nice and tight. I have to tell you, don't you worry. I have got the Olympics on in the background. It is daytime, so the coverage is not as exciting, but it is women's water polo. And as much as I'm really not a huge fan of water polo, it's the Americans playing, so you gotta watch. I'm a true fan of all things Olympics. I really am. Okay, so, oh my gosh, that's so cute. I love how it turned out. And you're one of the sweetest. So I'm just gonna add sweet. I'll be right back. Okay, so I cut my sweet out of some Dazzling Diamonds Glimmer paper, and I'm going to attach that with some glue. This is Tombow multi-purpose adhesive green glue. That's what I call it. You can see I'm doing kind of the edges. I'm not putting a ton of glue on here because I don't want it to ooze out all over. And oh, I really like how this is coming together. Okay, so it's just kind of going over my popped up cone, which works just fine. And I did promise you Wink of Stella, and Wink of Stella is what you shall get as soon as I find it. Because, you know, I've been going here and things get messy when I get going. Okay, now I just realized that this isn't going to post till next week, which I think the Olympics will be over by then. But I want you to know I am all about it. And tonight is the night Simone Biles goes for another gold medal. And oh my gosh, I love her. And Lori Hernandez, who I just think is adorable. She's so dang cute. They're on the balance beam. Oh my gosh, their parents are going to go nuts. I don't know how they'll survive. But look at how cute this is. And I have to say, today was one of those days where I read a story about Gabby Douglas and people have been hating on her, and that just makes me sad. She's so good and she's so awesome, and so she's serious. Big deal. Stop hating, stop bullying. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Now, all the details as well as all the photos for these can be found on my blog, so check that out. The link will be in the description of this video. Thank you so much. If you need to order any of these things, please, please, would you visit my online store? It helps me out bring more awesome videos just like this to you all the time, and I really, really appreciate your business. Of course, I do have perks for ordering through me. I have a great VIP program, and I would love to have you join. So thank you so much, guys. Have a great day. Bye.